What's happening, YouTube? All right, so here I am today with the Motorola G7 Power. The best phone on the market. Yeah, that's right. This is the best phone on the market. And the reason why it's the best phone on the market is because this has been off the charger for 30 hours and I still had 50% battery left. This phone's been used for 5 hours of YouTube and a bunch of other things I'm going to show you in a second. Motorola knocked it out of the park with this phone. I mean, I knew they were making this phone and I was following it, but I didn't think it'd be this good. The screen is beautiful. You know, people worry about a 720p display. They're like, oh, it's so low for 2019. No, it's not. It's a great display, beautiful display. 620 nits brightness, it can get very bright. So if you're outside, it's not an issue. And then being that bright, you have a battery that can back it up. It has no problem running that bright for a period of time, for a long period of time. I usually keep the battery or the brightness at about 80, 85%. Way higher than any other phone I've ever used because it can deal with that. The battery doesn't drain so quickly. I mean, how many times have you seen people and their screen is low, or even yourself, you put your screen at 50% because, you know, you don't want to be out of battery life. You're worried about that stuff. Not with this phone. So Motorola then put a processor in here that barely uses any power. It's a 600 series from Snapdragon, Qualcomm. You know, they could have gone with the flagship models, which is the 800 series, but that's going to take away from the battery life. And Motorola's objective on this phone was to create a phone that can go a long time without finding a charger or needing a top off or whatever you want to call it, quick charge. So, you know, then they add the 5,000 milliamp battery, which is a big battery, but the phone's not big. You know, it's not thick. It's a very good sized phone. You know, obviously, it's not as thin as most phones because then they wouldn't have the size battery in here. And then on top of it, they went with a plastic or polycarbonate back. Thank you, Motorola, for not putting a glass back on it. I'm sick of glass backs. They're nice, but they're slippery and they break. You know, when you put your phone down, you always put it down, face down. You don't put it face down. You always throw it on the back side. And enough times, that glass back is going to break unless you have a case. And even with a case, I've seen people breaking with cases. You know, if you have glass on the front and back, there's no flex. You put it in your pocket, you sit down, something's going to break. Hopefully you break the back than the front. But either way, thank you, Motorola, for not putting on a glass back. Finally, somebody. And it's pretty anyways. It almost looks like glass. I'll give you a close-up in a second. What else to say about the phone? It's a great phone. It's inexpensive. $250 brand new. I picked up at Best Buy. But Motorola, I think, has a deal for, I think it's $230. And then you have Amazon, I think it's $225. I haven't watched any other reviews, so I don't know what anyone else has said about this phone. I'm assuming there's complaints of the screen or complaints of the head jack is on the top and they prefer the bottom, or complaints of the fingerprint. I don't know. You know, I don't have any complaints about the phone because they made the phone and they made what they wanted to do, what they wanted to accomplish, which was great battery life, great screen, good sound quality, and a phone that's durable. Glass back. Oh, and the most important part, probably the most important part, inexpensive. It's not $500. It's not $550, it's not $600, it's not one of those, you know, mid-level tier, if you want to call it, you know, it's not 7 or 8 or 9, which is crazy for a phone. I don't know why anyone's paying $1,000 for a phone. Take the $750 and go put it in some mutual fund. You'll be better off because $1,000 for a phone, that's a whole different video. I don't want to talk about that. But anyways, get back to this. Go pick up this phone. You're going to love it. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. I gotta get going, but thanks for watching.